Hey, what's up guys? JG Physio Coach here today, and what I want to share with you is a little bit of a way to solve a little bit of a remedy for this somewhat notorious problem of people squatting or knee bending what should be hip hinge or hip bend movement.
Yeah, now just get those hips back,
Oh yeah, got it.
And so not down, not squatting, just hips back, hips forward. Yeah.
So we're talking about things like deadlifts, kettlebell swings, that sort of thing. The first solution that I'm suggesting for this problem is actually getting them out of that standing position and taking them into a tall kneeling position.
And to begin with now, we've taken away their ability to actually sort of knee bend, which is great. Their lower limbs, their knees here are kind of fixed now into this kind of nice free position, and it means that it's a lot more easy to kind of facilitate them folding through their hips, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So one of the verbal cues I often give people this, which I've used for rowing as well, to get people to hinge, is if you take their hands, get the index fingers on sort of, just below sort of ASIS area, and then as they sit back, you're verbally cueing them to pinch their hands in the hip crease. And hopefully what that should do is kind of get them on the right track in trying to send those hips back, pinching the fingers in the hip crease, and really getting more of a hinge motion rather than that kind of squat. So you might start just with the variation like this, get them to practice a couple of reps. You could even potentially then just grab a light kettlebell, get them to send their hips back into that hinge pattern, squeeze their butt, and just do somewhat of kind of like a Russian swing style movement, just to get a kettlebell in their hands and see how this hinge and this thrust that they're doing relates to the actual movement itself. We can then get up into standing, but rather than going straight back into attempting the normal hip hinge, unless they've got it by that point, we can use something as simple as the band as a bit of a pattern assist. So all that means is hook the band up to a squat right around that hip crease, walk out until I've got a bit of tension, and now the band, if I let it, is going to effectively pull me into that hip hinge. And that, I wouldn't again overcomplicate it, just sort of get you speak to client, communicate to them that you just kind of want them to let the band pull them in that direction, and try and emphasize what they were doing in the tall kneeling position. So you could do this with the kettlebell in hand, just letting that band pull them back. And then the other good thing about this as well is now you've got some resistance to actually push into something they can feel to push against to facilitate that hip thrust and that glute and hamstring recruitment. Because the other problem I find is that once you've kind of sorted out the hinge, is that often when they actually go for the actual concentric phase of movement and that thrust, you can get the old kind of like the old snake hit type movement, or like the Mexican wave, or the standing worm, or whatever you want to call it, which is kind of less than ideal. But I think it's helped massively if they've got something to feel that they're pushing into against to really get the right movement pattern.